Hi, welcome to, the first update on the new year for Project Iris. I am currently reworking some ideas that I had about the game. And because of this, I started doing some practice with my pixel art. As good as the original sprites I created for the main character, at the time they were unnamed and whatever. They're probably still unnamed because that might be subject to change. As good as I made these look, it actually ends up limiting the type of game I can make. Because all your character can do is move up, down, left, and right, sideways, and vertical, and whatever. And interacting with objects is limited. What you can attack with is limited. It's very, very Atari, and that's not a bad thing. It's just not what I want to make. So what I will be doing is I'm actually been practicing different styles of pixel art by hacking Stardew Valley to get an idea of how things work. And this is what I've come up with. Yes, I'm obsessed with Amy Rose. Shut up! Anyway, so what we have here is some... Sorry, that's my reference right there for the general shape of a face. So, like, that's actually your proof right there that I'm not tracing shit. Like, I take this image right here, I look at it, and I'm like, okay, so that's what the general face should look like. If you actually look at her hair right here, you can see that this area right here was copied. Gosh darn it. Copied and pasted down here to make the on look. And I'm not too happy about that because it makes it look kind of flat. So what I'm going to do is this is my project. I don't need to tell you about this shit. No one cares. Anyway, so the idea is that I'm taking this practice and I'm gonna use it in my game. Basic idea being that the game's gonna be a top-down style game with cartoony animations. I'm not too thrilled about how pixelated this looks, so it might go from 64 bits to 128 or 256 pixels just so I can have more resolution. But this is actually teaching me about tile sets and things like that, because in Stardew Valley, this is the entire character sheet for the character Abigail. How the hell does this get programmed into Game Maker? That's what I want to figure out. Because if I can make one tile sheet act for the entirety of one character, then that could actually limit the drag on the system. This is actually what my pixel art used to look like. I'm not very good at pixel art, as you can see. One of the other things I've been doing to prepare myself for what I want to do with the game that I'm designing is I went to Luigi's Mansion, which is the inspiration outside of Haunted House, and I gave it the camera angle of Haunted House, and I'm using this as a base for what I want my game to look at, if you can see, each room is kept within a void of some kind, and the previous room is unloaded. I like the way that this looks. In general, the whole game ends up taking on this really cool diorama style of art, and I just really super enjoy it. So that's kind of what I want to do. Plus, I also like the idea of Luigi fighting ghosts with the flashlight, but I'm not going to have the poltergust or a vacuum or a method of trapping ghosts. The idea for my game is that you are actually pretty much defenseless in this house that you're in. Your job is to find objects, keys, and other things to help find your family and save Christmas or whatever. Because that might actually change too. I still want it to be Christmas themed, but it might deviate from the original Christmas idea a little bit. But the idea in general is basically top-down Luigi's Mansion without the combat, adding more of survival horror to it rather than a combat game. Because I actually do find that Luigi's Mansion is more combat oriented than horror. And that's not a bad thing, but rooms like this I might be taking inspiration from because the ghosts are invisible, but I have no idea how I'm going to program like them, and they're supposed to appear in the window mirror thing here, but like in the top down perspective you can't see that. So how the hell would I even do that? I might just keep the thing here and work with that. Overall, I really enjoyed playing Luigi's Mansion in this top down perspective, and yeah, basically, my game might be heavily inspired by Haunted Mansion on the Atari 2600 mixed together with Luigi's Mansion top-down using my own developed art style. It's kind of like a passion project, but at the same time, it's just a whatever project, because if I take it too seriously, I'll burn myself out, and that's bad juju. I'm hoping that this project, as long as I keep it simple, will be good practice for my ultimate project that I want to work on. I want to work on this project as well, but it's not the project that I'm going to be considering the project. The project is going to be Go Go Kona, and I'm working up to that. Like, I like that. You got a little pop-zip right there. So, like, maybe find some way to interact with NPCs or whatever. So, yeah, that's the update so far. I have created a lot of things for this game in general. Here are some of the sprites. Very basic animations. And that's a light orb. This will be utilized for shadows and shit like that, and I might have to rework that entirely. This cookie is the main reason why I decided to change my direction a little bit. Keeping things Christmas themed and keeping things Haunted Mansion strict made me feel very stifled, which is, I guess, a good thing if you're practicing to become a real game designer, but I'm not. I'm not gonna be in a cubicle somewhere working on somebody else's game. I'm working on my games. Here's the collision tiles. So yeah, I have the free range to do whatever, when I want, how I want, and stuff like that, and I will utilize this. But just to show you how much work I did do, here's everything that I created for it so far. Ignore a link here, that's a reference. Yeah, I did not create, here, I'll highlight what I did not create. Bop, boop, boop. There it is. Oh wait, boop. There we go. I created everything else. Like, these are just references, links, up, down, left, right movement, and the bobbing of his head helps me animate the eyes better. This right here gave me a top-down view of a mansion layout, which I utilized to make this, which is collision map data. That's just wood. I don't know why that's here. I also created this based off of the Luigi's Mansion idea. I wanted to see how well certain art styles would translate, so I created this by tracing a drawer in Luigi's Mansion. Let's see here. There's currently 4 versions of the game, and I'll go ahead and show you. Alright, so here is the game. that I currently have, along with the test sprite to see how well it meshes. The character can do this stuff right here, but he can't do a diagonal animation yet because I haven't figured out how to do that yet. When you hold both left and right, does nothing. When you hold up and down, does nothing. And he only makes a sound when you move. So that's amazing. That took me like 2 days to figure out. The great thing about... I wonder how much of that got recorded. Anyway, I guess I'll just repeat what I just said. That was kind of silly. I'm still working shit out. One of the reasons why I'm doing this now rather than like ever is because if I was to wait for me to be pretty much done with the main character and how they move and whatever, I would be pretty much stuck with how they look, how the game operates, and everything like that, because I would have to go back to... I name my games every single day. I start a new file. I write the day that I'm starting to work on it. Not the date, but like... Here, let me try to show you. Actually, it's right here. You guys see... Get the hell out of here. Get the fuck off! See, it says... Haunted House Christmas Day 4. That's the 4th day of me coding. A lot of the time I'm just researching and studying things online, and then I code. Then I create art. Then I code. I only count the days that I'm coding as a day 4 or day 5. I do that to keep myself in line, and I have plenty of backups. Like, see, I have them all the way. I even have, like, the original naming convention of MK1 for Mark 1, but then, like, every time I looked at it, I was like, Mortal Kombat? So, here's some guy's thing I was researching. Here's some light, I think. Some controller inputs. Like, I'm studying as much as I possibly can. And here's another one, but this one actually sucked. So, like, get the fuck out of here. That sucked. That taught me nothing. So yeah. Overall, we have the character's movements and sound whatevers. We have the character's camera, which is actually a lot simpler than I thought it would be. Like, if you just open up the step here, it's like very, very easy. In fact, like, I could probably copy and paste this to the I really should set the pause key to something other than the plus. Or, I mean, the space. Oh my god, my brain is stupid. Anyway, so yeah, this is basically just an update. And, this is the room that we test in. If you've noticed, when we play the room, it actually extends past this, and that's the reason why I drew the drawer here, because how I have it set is that the background loops. And what the hell? That's another thing I wanted to change. Like, you see how, like, the shining of the eye is kind of weird? Like, works here, but then looks weird, and then looks weird. That's, like, the eye is fine. The eye is fine. It's limiting to how I want to design the game. So, that's what I'm gonna do. Using what I've been doing to practice with, I am learning how to character animate very simply. I don't think my animations are going to look like this when I'm done. They're definitely not going to be Amy. This is just me looking at what somebody else did and adding my own spin to it, actually. Like, if you look at, that's a great example. Like, if you look here, you'll see that she's playing the flute, right? But it's a very basic sprite. Just, there you go. It's very basic. It doesn't really add much to it. But if you look at mine, There's glow effects, there's a shimmer going around the entire thing. There's actually some animation happening with the hair and face. And that's kind of the overall thing that I'm imparting onto it, is my attention to detail. And this sucks. This right here sucks. I want to redo this, but I don't know how because of the resolution. That's why I need to practice. That's the entire reason why I'm doing this. This right here sucks. Like, that sucks. And there has to be a way to do this better. And that's what I'm doing. I am learning how to do things better. How to portray animation and shapes with such limited resolution is a lot harder than I thought it would be. But here we are. And yeah, I get it. I'm a fucking furry. Fuck off. But in general, that's kind of what I've been up to. I've been learning how to pixel draw and pixel animate. Because my original style was like what you see back here with Sanitation. I'm not going to get into the reason why I can't do that anymore. So I hope you look forward to Project Iris. I'll probably be doing more live streams about it later on. But till then, here's an update.